Hi there, it's Chris. I've got a listing on 76 Master Circle that we've been about 2 weeks since I've contacted the seller. So, according to our seller promise, our seller contract, I want to talk to them about every 2 weeks. So, one of my favorite things is to use the market position calculator. I know that calculator can be a little confusing, so I want to walk through that just to kind of show you how I do it and what you should do. So here's my listing. Let me go in here to Basecamp and grab the listing file. My docs and files, I've created this market position calculator that I encourage you to set up as soon as you list a property. Just to refresh you, there's some kind of instructions here. The orange is kind of your baseline where you set it up. So this is how you set your searches up in Corinne. So that way, when you come back to it in subsequent weeks, you know exactly what you're trying to accomplish. So this is 3-bed, Pagosa Lakes. 9 months is the time frame for sold comps. So that's the one thing you need to remember. I've got it there. I've also got it here. When you do your searches for sold, you want to use 9 months as your benchmark. Stick built 2,000 to 2,600 is my square footage range, and I've excluded a couple of subdivisions, Pagosa Highlands Estate and Lake Hatcher Park. So when I came in and set this up for my new listing, it was on January 24th, which is about 17 days ago, 1 day on market. I simply put the list price in. I filled the dark blue in here, put the price per square foot. And when I listed it, this is how many sold comps in the last 9 months we had of 33. And this is the number of active properties in that range on the market. So basically, you're wanting to edit the blue, leave everything else alone. Your green will be some calculations for you to use. So that's what I did there. I set it up. So today we're going to go in here and fill it out. So we're 17 days on the market. Okay, the first question there is, excuse me, comparable average days on market. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. So just to refresh, we've got those parameters that are in the orange here. Those are set up. I've excluded these subdivisions, not equal to. So Pagosa Highlands Estate, Lake Hatcher Park, Pagosa Trails, and Pagosa Vista. Those are also two that I don't pay attention to. With these comps, we've got sold, we've got stick built, 2,000 to 2,600, 3-bedroom, and let me make sure I got that closing date right. May. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. So if I run those parameters, I've got 30 properties that have sold. And the first column is comps average days on market. So the average days on market, 133. So I can put that in. Price per square foot. So we need to run a little quick calculation here. Just the way I usually do it is export. You can run it through Excel or whatever you like to do, but I just bring it over here into a new drive. And if you drag, drop, yes, update existing. Open that. I like to open it back up in Google Sheets so that way I can play with it a little bit. So I'm looking for sold price per square foot. So I've got this column right here. And I just pull an average real quick. $201.65. So 201.65. All right. Average sold dollar amount 446, 459. Number of sold in 9 months. So we said we've sold 30. Number of active. I'll come back in here, take the same parameters, and just simply throw active in there. Got 11. Okay. Now that didn't seem like we did much, but we did a lot actually, because now I can go back and use some of this data as talking points. We've got a price per square foot here. You know, we're above it pretty high. We're 201 when our subject is 185, so we're placed really well in the market there on the price per square foot. The average sold is 446. Here we are asking for 37, so we're priced well there. We've sold a few less. All right. So when we listed this, we had sold 33. Now I sold 30. So the math tells us that the absorption rate, well, we sold fewer, but we also have fewer active here. I was going to say that wasn't making sense. So our absorption rate's actually going the right way. So when we listed this property, the average sell time frame was 3.82 months. Now we're at 3.3. So these are trending the right way for an attractive sell for my sellers. The inventory's gone down 0.25%. Or sorry, 27% rather. So yeah, it's early. It's February. The buying activity has slowed, as we've seen, but also the listing activity is down. So depending on, I'll coach my people to hold firm, depending on what happens, in the upcoming weeks. We'll decide where we're positioned. I'm going to do an open house for them this weekend. So this is a lot of calculation for really just a couple of key numbers, but it's numbers that most of the time brokers and sellers don't really pay attention to. We put the listing out there as a benchmark, but we don't know how the trend lines are changing. So if these started changing and all of a sudden these absorption rate goes up 4, 5, 6, 7 months, and the inventory changes a lot, we know we've got to readjust our price. But right now I feel comfortable holding tight and letting my people know that. So that's the basics of the market analysis. I'll come back in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whenever I feel like it, and do this again, run another row out here, and it'll show me where we're headed. That's what you got. All right.